Greetings. Welcome to Film Gazers, a podcast focusing on the science fiction, horror, fantasy trinity, and 20th century entertainment. I'm Steph.
I'm Jess. We're cousins/besties. Join us as we reminisce, discuss, and review films from our childhood.
Meowdy.
Meowdy.
How's everything going?
I'm here.
Samesies. We're just going to do early episode announcements. One, we finally qualified for ads.
Yes.
So there will be those playing only at the beginning and the end for now. We're going to just see how it goes.
We didn't want to overwhelm.
No, because nobody likes it when there's like 20 freaking ads.
Exactly.
Second announcement, my husband had been going through some back stuff. I think I've mentioned it a little bit. So it is for sure he's going to need a spinal fusion, which is very serious.
Scary.
He's going to have rods, everything. We just found this out on Thursday and it's Saturday. So
still very fresh.
It's still very fresh. We don't even have a scheduled date yet. So I just wanted to let people know that we might have some delays, or when we know the date, Jess and I can see if we can record some stuff early before recovery stuff happens, when I'll need to be more all hands on deck in that matter. Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Yeah.
And I'm very stressed out.
Stressful times.
It's a stressful times.
So medieval.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings us to today's episode, though, because I watched the movie directly when we got back from the surgical consultation, and it was pouring down rain, and I just got all snuggly up in my bed, and I turned this movie on. So I may not have been in the greatest mindset either.
To critique.
I
don't think it would have mattered, to be honest.
Yeah. So, but it was a nice experience, though, after just being so stressed out and having this news, and so it was dark and watching a movie.
Dark and gloomy.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, at least it's a movie I hadn't seen.
And the weather matched your mood, at least.
It did. So there was some ambiance. So that was when I watched that. But we did also earlier, prior to all of this knowledge happening, finished Ted Lasso. Kind of lackluster. We were a little, the last episode was it's okay. That was it. That was it. Yeah, it was fine. I guess I expected just something a little bit more. I don't know what it was.
But they didn't give it to me.
But I didn't quite feel satiated. And I think there's going to be a fourth season.
Oh.
But I feel like it's too long, and it's going to be different anyway. There's different casts, kind of, only some people come back kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't think I'll check it out, maybe.
Yeah, you're why even bother?
Yeah, and then I've still, our late at night show, Home Improvement. I'm still trying to finish that shit. Just ready to get it over with at this point. I'm on the last season, but I'm this was one season for sure, too. No. It was good that JTT left, and then Patricia, Jill's character or whatever, didn't want to go on either, because I'm it was just
lackluster too.
Yeah, it's just annoying a little bit. Tim is just so fucking annoying sometimes. You're how fucking dumb and selfish are you? After season 8. It's their anniversary. And he spends it with Jenny McCarthy. I think was the guest who's supposed to be a mechanic, and they're getting Brad's car fixed. Because it's a very specific, Mustang, and she's a Mustang mechanic. And then, he ends up getting a ticket when they were, testing riding it to figure out what was wrong with it, because he was saying how he couldn't figure it out. And then he almost ran a red light. And so he, in the show, he's, instinctively doing, where you put your hand in front of someone and you just sudden stop. And he even goes, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. That's a dad instinct. And she was like, well, I'm not a kid, or something,
Yeah.
But Jill finds on their anniversary, he calls, he's saying he's late with the mechanic. She doesn't know the mechanic's even a woman. And then she gets a thing in the mail going, Brad, I think you got a ticket. And then looks, and it was a traffic cam from him, because I guess he did kind of technically, run the red light or whatever. And it just looks like he's groping her. And then he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then they still go to dinner. And then there's like this waiter that they always bring throughout the seasons. He's like a really bad, annoying waiter or whatever. And then and then he's just a dick. And then she calls him, the mechanic does, to say she found this part or whatever. Like, you know, you want to give it the go ahead for it. And then he like abandons the dinner to talk to her on the phone. And so Jill leaves, like he turns back and Jill's gone, and I'm like, divorce. I don't know. It was just a weird episode, and it ended weird. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm over this.
Like, this is terrible.
I don't know. I was
He's getting a little too real.
He's just so shitty.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, why did everyone like Tim Allen?
That was how all of them were in that era. Because like Jim Belushi had his show, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't watch that one too much, so I don't remember his character.
Jim Belushi.
Yeah,
like I watched the shit out of that show. I think it was According to Jim, maybe.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
But he wasn't even nice to his wife. And I was like, why did we idolize these kind of men back then?
He like gets humbled in the episode because he's basically going and saying like, hey, I don't need any more work done to the car. Like, what's fixed is fixed. I don't need to like keep seeing you and souping it up. Like, it's inappropriate. Like, I find you attractive but I'm happily married. Like, they even go so far as like Tim talking to Wilson about him finding her attractive, you know, but like, whatever. I don't know. It was crazy. And then I looked at Andrew. I was like, if I was Jill, I was like, I'd fuck Wilson. And he was like, Andrew was like, no. He was like, you fuck Al. And I was like, oh, that's even better.
Yeah, definitely.
So Andrew and I are coming up with ways that Jill can revenge.
Al.
Oh, because Tim is such a dick.
I bet Al would be down for that.
Oh, man. We also watched Superstar.
With Molly Shannon.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I was just thinking about that movie.
Andrew randomly put it on. I don't even remember what day we watched it now. But yeah, he randomly put it on. And I was like, I loved this movie when I was in middle school. I was watching it, and then Harlan Williams is like the guy she hits up. The bad boy that's like on the motorcycle, and just all of it. And Will Ferrell's goofy in it. I mean, they just don't make movies like, it's so stupid. It was bad, but it was still funny.
Yeah,
I liked it. And then we also watched Vampire Hunter D: Bloodlust. It's an anime.
Oh, okay, I saw that on there.
Yeah,
on Netflix.
An anime film, and it is. It was really good. It was basically like Nosferatu, or like the kind of Dracula story, like where it's like, oh, this guy, there's a vampire hunter, he's like half vampire, and then a woman is kidnapped by a vampire from her home, and the family's like hiring him to get the vampire, but it turns out she's actually in love with the vampire. So it was good. And I love that animation from that era and everything. And then I'm still reading the ACOTAR book. I'm only reading like a couple of, like a chapter or two in the evening.
You're doing better than me. I'm still stuck. I haven't picked
up anything.
No, I'm still not finished with the Fourth Wing series yet.
Oh, you never finished? Oh, man.
I never finished that book yet.
You were talking about, like, you were so hyped when you were
I know.
Like, in the middle of it, so I figured you finished it.
I've been busy and I don't know doing what. Yeah. And I feel like I have no time in the evening to
I feel like you've definitely been putting more effort into the podcast.
I have been doing that.
So, because she made us a TikTok, guys.
We're live on TikTok now.
We're finally on TikTok.
At Film Gazers.
Yes. And what have you been watching and doing besides the TikTok and not reading?
And not reading. Yeah, so the TikTok's been fun. I've been making like funny audiograms for it. So I've been doing that. Oh, I finally watched Wicked.
Oh,
by the way.
I haven't watched it yet.
I really enjoyed it,
nice.
Actually. So there's one movie at least that translated from theater to film.
And you were kind of talking shit about it before, too.
I was.
You hadn't seen it yet, and you were just, like, poking fun. And now you're like, I'm a convert.
Yes, totally. Because, like, Ariana Grande was so good in it.
Nice.
Like, she's so funny, and I didn't realize that about her. And she can sing like a fucking Disney princess. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, she does have
there.
One of those voices.
The way everybody was acting, I guess, after the movie came out, I didn't realize it was going to be so funny. I thought it was going to be very, like, sappy and like, serious. And I knew there was going to be musical, but And there's enough talking in it, so it's not just like everybody singing and that's it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I
so
really
it is a dialogue musical.
Yeah, and the other main lady, who's the Wicked Witch, essentially.
Yeah, is it Elphaba? Is that her name
in the movie? Yeah,
okay. Because I read the book Wicked when it was I must have been in high school, like around whenever it came. Maybe I can't remember when it came out, but
I don't know either.
I was around high school age though, and I read it.
Yeah, and she's got a beautiful voice as well. So I highly recommend it.
Sweet. I will.
It's streaming on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do have Prime. Do they still put fucking commercials though in it now?
No, there was no commercials in it.
Okay.
Unless there was one at the beginning, but I don't remember that.
Okay, whatever. I guess I can live with that.
Yeah, I don't remember there being any. So
okay.
Take that as you will. But yeah, I watched that. I watched Queer Eye because there was a new season that had came out that I hadn't watched yet. And they're coming out the next season. It's going to be the last season. It's pretty sad.
I kind of feel like it's time. The last season I had watched, I don't know. I think it's more me than the show though. Like it just, I would feel very like warmed by it and stuff before. And now I'm always just like,
I don't know. Have you seen it with the new guy on there that took over for Bobby?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked him.
I liked him fine, but I'm just like, things are just different, and everything feels different. I'm different. No, I think it's just my outlook has been a little like it's not providing that comfort it once was, and I don't know what's changed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I still enjoyed it. So I watched that, and then Forensic Files is always good. On HBO, they came out with Forensic Files 2, and it came out in 2021, I think.
I've seen all of it.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, Forensic Files. How did that get by me?
It did not get by me. I saw it. I was like, yeah. One thing I look forward to when I have to go to like a work show too.
Yes.
In like 2 weeks.
That's what reminded me of it, because I was like, what shall I watch? That's not Gordon Ramsay. Like, I just want a good, like, either documentary or, that's what else I watched. That's what spurred this on too, is that I watched, it was like a Biggest Loser documentary.
I watched that.
Did you see that one?
I did. I watched that just like the other night. I watched the first 2 episodes, but the second episode I kind of started drifting
There's
out.
only 3.
Yeah.
So I watched that.
I don't think I finished it, but
I mean, it was fine. There wasn't anything like too scandalous in it. But I was like, damn, I forgot that show was on for that long.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember watching the first season, like, as, like, prime time thing, after school or whatever,
right.
like, eating dinner, watching it.
Gotta watch these fatties.
And it was crazy. And then going back and then just, like, seeing some of the clips, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember watching this.
Oh, that was me and my mom's show. Because we were obviously women of the 90s, obsessed with weight loss and how much you weigh, whatever the next diet fad was. We've done all of them. We did the cabbage soup diet. We did the military where you eat nothing but tuna and like bread for 3 days or whatever.
Oh yeah, I think that was like one of the cancer patient ones or something. Where
the Mayo Clinic diet.
Yeah, it was. I think that was at the Mayo Clinic diet, and it was like a can of tuna. It was like dried tuna.
That's the military diet too. Yeah,
dry toast and
like 1 egg or something,
and 1 coffee.
Yeah,
like
black
no
coffee,
sugar.
A grapefruit.
So after all that riveting information, we are finishing up Jess's fantastical voyage in August with Death of a Unicorn. And remember, we have September's Jaunty Adventure.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what movies you picked again.
It is Wild America and Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
So that's what'll be up in September. So depending when and if there is a surgery in between that time, some things might shift or change, or like I said, maybe we'll be able to get to record some stuff early. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But we won't leave you hanging because Jess is more on top of it.
I'm trying. Discord, I still haven't got on that yet.
In this episode, we watched 2025's Death of a Unicorn. It was directed by Alex Sharfman. It was written by Alex Sharfman. It was produced by Drew Haupt, Lucas Joaquin, Alex Sharfman, Lars Knudsen, Tyler Campione, Timothy Headington, and Teresa Steele Page. Starring Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega, Will Poulter, Tia Leone, and Richard E. Grant. Cinematography by Larry Fong. Edited by Ron Doolin. The music was by Dan Romer and Gyosu Greco. And the release date was March 8th, 2025. One of the newer films we are covering.
Mm-hmm.
The running time is 107 minutes. The budget was $15 million. Box office 16.1. Broke even. Made $1 million, I guess.
It went to theaters?
Yeah.
Huh.
Apparently. Like, what's a theater?
I thought it was direct streaming.
Into the fun facts, Sharfman happened to initiate the casting of Ortega right before her debut, basically, with Wednesday on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So that was like, he basically like locked in before she got too big. He says that we sent her the script the weekend before Wednesday premiered in November of 2022. This was from the Hollywood Reporter. So I don't know what we would have done if we didn't get Jenna. It's such a hard role, and she does such an incredible job with it. So during and like after college, Sharfman had worked for producer Lars Knudsen at a production company that Knudsen had co-founded called Parts and Labor Films. He would go on to also start Square Peg with Ari Aster, who's really well known in the horror and everything scene. So this company was also where Sharfman had got to know Robert Eggers and kind of watched him put the finishing touches on The Witch. And also saw him doing his like early draft and research work of Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
So he's been in the vicinity, you know, of all these people. And he also has produced and written over the years. So he is still a part of the industry. But this was his first like feature, you know, that he was doing. So what was described as the highly detailed unicorn lore is Sharfman's way of taking a page from Eggers' research-intensive playbook. Quoted, "I knew that I wanted Death of a Unicorn to be a modern monster movie adaptation of unicorn lore from antiquity." I mean, which I think sounds good in theory. I just not sure about how he played it out.
Right.
So the entire film was captured mostly in Hungary and parts of Slovenia.
Okay.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
It was very beautiful. And here's the thing, too. When I was looking up where it was filmed, I saw multiple people being like, oh, these scenes of Canada were so beautiful. And, like, as a Canadian, I'm so proud. And then, like...
Wrong.
And I'm like, everywhere else says it's shot in Hungary. So I'm just letting you know. A lot of people swear it's Canada. So obviously CGI was used, but they did still have practical effects as well. The young unicorn, the fowl or whatever, was a practical, you know, that was used during the entire filming process.
Yeah. The dead unicorn?
Yeah.
It was a stuffed unicorn? Yeah. Figured that.
The director was also said that he was inspired by Ridley Scott. She's named Ridley. And then he also shouted out to the film Legend, another unicorn intensive film.
That one's way better.
Way better. Andrew and I just watched that too, like, I think it was within the last year.
Yeah, I still like that one.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Curry, you can't.
It's just crazy too.
I would have ran off with him
like,
in a second.
It was visually like appetizing.
Yes, man.
This one,
dreamy.
Yeah, this one was not for me.
No.
It didn't have like any of that quality.
I'm
like, where was the inspiration other than maybe some of the story, but not any of how it looked.
Right.
So the Met's fictional website that was used in the film informs of the fifth tapestry. The unicorn surrenders to a maiden, and it is in fact only survived in fragments. That part is true, and that scholars believe the missing part of the tapestry most likely showed the unicorn going on a murderous rampage is not true.
Obviously.
I would just let that be known. The tapestries do exist. They are, I think, currently, in the Met, pictures. And there's been some recreations, I guess. There's in a couple of museums, I think, in like Scotland as well, that kind of thing. Yeah, so with that, there was a lot of videos on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, there seemed like there was way more video content than anything kind of written. And to be honest, I just didn't feel like watching a bunch of videos to get little tidbits. I did read the Reddit AMA, and that's where I got some of this directly from the director answering questions.
Yeah, I prefer to like read written.
Yeah, and because a lot of it's just going to be...
It's easier to skim through.
Also more of a marketing thing, so
Right.
It's just going to keep telling me
The
like
same
about
thing.
the plot, and like I want to know how it's made.
Yeah, I want the BTS.
So yeah, so you can. The AMA was pretty helpful. There were some cool articles. Like so the Hollywood Reporter had a pretty good interview with him and everything of his inspiration and a lot of his thoughts on like the classism and everything. That's also the big theme, and the greed. And he even mentions how they're like, well, when people who are actually like the rich people in this film, the Leopolds, like, do they realize they're the bad guy? Like, do you think they're self-aware if they watch films like this? And he's like, I think it's more of everyone can understand because, like, oh, they justify it because they were looking out for their family. Like, oh, my family will live forever, blah, blah, blah. Well, like, they're looking out for themselves because they think, well, if I don't do it, someone else is gonna, So, like, it was an interesting interview and everything, but we're just going to start off the gate that neither one of us, I feel like, just felt like the movie was mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really mid.
And yeah, and I could see why a lot of reviews it was like saying it's too heavy-handed because it's almost like used as the crutch of the film. And then
I didn't understand the whole sentimentality of it. It's right, like how Final Girls had that.
It is, yeah. I thought the same thing. I was like, I'm going to bring up Final Girls because it feels like there is this, yeah. I'm like, it's supposed to be a horror comedy, but they always end up, there's like hardly no comedic elements.
Right.
And then it ends up being just more kind of like, oh, it has some gore scenes, and then there's all this sentimental stuff.
Right.
Or
and
like,
why is that
preachy kind of thing where I'm in a complete agreement with you because I'm like, this father-daughter relationship thing just feels forced.
Because he was a piece of shit
the
whole movie.
Nothing redeeming.
No.
I agree.
Even when he said what he said at the end and she went and hugged him, I was like, he still didn't say anything redeemable.
Nothing.
He said, yeah, I'm a piece of shit. Yeah, you are. You care about money way more than you cared about your daughter.
Yeah. And we'll fully get into it, but yeah, we're in complete agreement. Yeah, you can go in, you can read what the director kind of had in mind. I just feel like he didn't execute it like that. You can see a lot of reviews. A lot of people loved it.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I saw a lot of 3.5s, like from a lot of people. I gave it a 2.5. I said mid.
It'd be 2 for me.
Yeah, but so you can see a difference of opinion. I think we were more on the negative side. Other people found, I guess, appreciated the little bit of comedy that was there, and I don't know, ran with it more. I just feel like it wasn't enough to really, like, I think of like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and like Cabin in the Woods. Like, and a lot of people were like, oh, this is like the sequel of Cabin in the Woods of when you see those crazy horses or somebody in one part, like, ha, 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 like, kind of thing. But I'm like, it didn't have that.
Like, campy kind of.
Yeah, it had to have been more campy for it to land like that.
Especially with the with the CG stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, that was the only thing campy, but I don't know if they were going for campy with it.
I think it was just having to be affordable.
Yeah, it looked like it. And I don't understand why they kept changing colors. Like, at one point they were all black and then they were all white. Oh,
it's so funny because I'm reading through, like, all his interviews and stuff, and no one brings that up or mentions it. And I have to just think it's because they're enraged or, like, angry, and then see when they're safe and, like, with their baby again.
They're, like,
and they're
mood rings.
White. Yeah, they're, like, mood rings. And they did say that they, like, based the horse, like, on early descriptions, like, from, way back in the day, which people assume they were probably talking about maybe an Indian rhinoceros, because it had, like, elephant-like feet. And, like, this is old, like, medieval times when people described a unicorn. They weren't always described as, like, just a horse with a horn. Like, they were supposed to be more, like, elephantile. And to an extent, that's why people think people misinterpreted rhinoceroses.
No, because they made those tapestries with unicorns.
Oh, no, but they're saying different cultures have, like, the different ideas and everything. Yeah, so he was getting some ideas from these other ones.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, that looked, like I said, they were probably referring to maybe rhinoceroses, but, like, they didn't know what they were yet, so they were calling them unicorns. But they sounded like a rhino, and others had, like, parts where it was maybe more like lion-like and, like, with fur or something in other areas. So that's why they said that unicorns look like they look. But they never explained the color change. Yeah. I think we were supposed to assume, I guess. Because they're filled with rage, but then they're pure of heart after, I don't know. So with that little mini rundown, Jess is going to take it away with the You Googled Summary.
A weekend retreat has deadly consequences when a father and daughter accidentally hit and kill a motherfucking unicorn while en route to find his billionaire boss, who seeks to exploit the creature's miraculous curative properties. The end.
Okay, so obviously this is a new movie. We have no memories because we've never seen it before this.
Never seen it. I felt like I did when I watched the fucking trailer because it showed almost the whole movie.
That's true. And then also, what we're going to go with what were your expectations of this film?
That's a good one. So from the trailer, I was expecting them, obviously they hit a unicorn and they were going to do like experiments on it to cure cancer or something. So I was expecting it to be, and I knew like the revenge unicorn. I was expecting it to be a revenge unicorn movie.
Yes.
So I knew it was going to be kind of dumb based on the trailer because the CGI.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just expecting more comedy, like way more comedy. So I was disappointed for sure.
I agree. I think I must have watched like maybe a shorter trailer because I remember seeing some of it, but I guess not enough for it to fully be explained, because my assumption when they said like going to this work, like this billionaire like retreat or whatever, and I think I saw the synopsis where they said it was on like a wildlife refuge.
Yeah.
So I was going into it thinking they were out there for that reason. Like that the rich guy had bought all that land because he knew that like a unicorn or some like, there's supposed to be some kind of cure in the land or something. I'm like,
that would make way more sense.
Maybe he's pillaging, it's supposed to be a reserve, but he's like pillaging the land. And then they hit one of the unicorns and they're like, oh, you finally found one. Like, I don't know. I guess I thought it was going to be more like set up because I thought it was going to be a little more campy.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought like, oh, what better than like, ooh, the billionaire plotting to rape and pillage the natural land for his own gain.
Yeah. Just like Pocahontas.
I mean, if we're going heavy-handed with the class themes, like, we go for it.
Right. Step it up a notch.
So I guess I thought that was going to happen more. And then, then there was going to be like a revenge unicorn. And I thought it was going to be funnier. Because, I mean, it is Paul Rudd.
I know. And they wasted him. Like, they didn't use him at all.
And then here, from the fun facts, I was saving it. Apparently, he wrote some script a while back, and Paul Rudd had like read it, and then he did mention how he was like, "Oh, you should write something for me later, though, or something." And so he kind of wrote the script with Paul Rudd in mind.
But why?
And I don't understand either. I'm like, what about this says Paul Rudd in any way?
Right.
Of what characters like, and it's not even a good different Paul Rudd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're all used to Paul Rudd being this funny guy. Let's make him this, like, villainous kind of dick.
Right.
Then do that.
Yeah. But not just like a piece of shit.
He's just like...
dad.
Yeah. Like every other white collar, probably dad. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. You say you care, but...
yeah, but, like, I don't know. Like, it just was so... He was just so blah in it.
Yeah, he was background.
Yeah, he was. And then when it felt like they were trying to use the comedic elements with him... It just fell flat.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing. Like the other guy, what was his name?
The son was the funniest.
He
one
was,
to me.
and that seems like that was the consensus too, though, from everyone, that he carried the comedy of the show. And Téa Leoni did okay, and the husband character, I don't remember his name either. Sorry, because it felt like they were playing it more outrageous.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and then Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd feel like they're playing it more straight.
They were super serious. Because, like, the crying and stuff at the end, I'm like, they're wasting all this good acting on this
yeah,
fucking unicorn movie.
Because everyone likes Jenna Ortega's performance. It's fine. Yeah. I just feel like
her performance was great.
Yeah.
It was the movie that was dumb.
Yeah.
It's like the whole, like, he's like, stop picking at her skin in the car. I didn't get that was supposed to be acne. I thought she was picking at her skin like a crackhead. Because she had, like, fingernail marks in her skin. I was like, okay, there's a reason why she's got obvious blemishes showing. Oh, so the unicorn could magically make her skin clear up.
Or maybe she picked at her acne more, though, like, after her mother's death.
Well, they didn't explain anything.
But they didn't imply that enough to be like, if it was something like...
To me, it was like, oh, they just showed that so she could go, ooh.
Picking it severely or something, you know, like, oh, is this like a character thing? Or I don't know. Just everything was kind of flat. I mean, we're already getting into it, so we're into it, guys. Yeah. Just, you're in the thick of it. Yeah, it was just kind of frustrating to watch a little bit because you're just like waiting...
It took a whole hour.
I kept waiting for the punchline in the beginning, even, and then there was barely any, and the whole time I'm thinking, who is this movie for? Right. Like that's my question, because it's gory enough to where it's obviously not a family film. Yeah, but it relies so much on, like, it wanted to have heart. Yeah. But, like, I'm like, why?
Nobody wants to watch that that's watching there for the gore.
It's a horror comedy. Like, you want it to be funny and be gory, and then it can have some heart to it, sure. But, like, it felt like that was, I don't know, it was not, comedy to me cannot be said, really, of this.
No, there was not much comedy. The only thing comedic was the fucking unicorns. Like, the CGI was comedic.
And yeah, the son's character, like, him in his shorts, and, I'll go to the hot tub. Like, you know, like, he delivered the
snorting
lines well. Yeah, snorting the thing. That was funny. Because you do get to that part. Okay, so just the synopsis, if you haven't watched the trailer and already got every point of this movie, is, he is a lawyer for billionaire, like, fucking level people.
Or, like, trying out to be a lawyer for them or something? Or
well, no, I think he's already worked for their company, and that they're testing him to basically, because this old guy's supposed to be dying, the leader of the pack, if you will, and he needs a liaison lawyer type person who works not only with, like, I guess how the company works, but also works between the family, who probably still have shares and part, whatever, and investments in the company. And so they make it a very big deal to show of how, he's has to do this, and it's so important. And their whole stipulation is they want to meet his daughter. Like, they're very, like... Family. They're very fast and furious about it. And that also in the beginning, because if we're going, again, I'm thinking, horror comedy. Again, my thought process was they knew about the unicorns, and they knew they needed the maiden. And that's why they were so adamant about bringing her there. But no, that's why it seems so weird. They're so pushy about family, but they themselves, I mean, are very obviously not very familial either.
Especially even at the end, she's saying, oh, he's gone, he's finally gone. Like, she was so glad that he was dying, her husband. Like, she gave that off throughout the whole movie, because in the beginning she was, like, disappointed that he regenerated.
Yeah, they did give that feeling. Yeah.
And then at the end, when he did die, she was like, oh my God, he's finally gone.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you're right. I mean, that was more in a relief. But they should have played that up more, too. Mm-hmm. Everything was just kind of...
thrown in there.
Like, mid.
Like, they had that rainbow cloud. For what? What was that supposed to signify?
I think, was it them being able to control...
the unicorn?
Yeah, the unicorns were bringing it, like, when they were in those areas.
But it never moved.
Started glowing.
Just stayed out
above them?
From the cave.
I don't know.
Like to know what that means.
Nope, they don't tell you that.
The mood ring unicorns. Yeah. What's up with that?
No, so instead the setup, though, is that they're just, weirdly want to make sure that, I guess they want to make sure his family's maybe normal and won't, like, put their company at risk.
But I feel like they wouldn't be okay with her piercings and her colored hair.
Well, no, because he even says her major is art history, and she's like,
exactly.
So it's just an odd intro anyway, and instead of being funny, it just feels...
To me, it makes me wonder why he would even put his daughter through that. You're obviously a lawyer. You already have money. What do you need to be set for the rest of your life. Like, are y'all going to Mexico? Like, running away? What are you doing?
He promised her mother.
Yeah, I'm sure her mother said, make as much money as you possibly fucking can.
No, they said, take care of her. That's what she said, take care of her.
She meant emotionally, dickhead.
Yeah, because that's basically the whole plot is that, in his greed and in his eyes, when he promised his dying wife he would take care of his daughter, that just meant setting her up for life by being a billionaire ass kisser.
Yeah.
Like, in what world? And even they kind of have Jenna Ortega's character being like, how would mom have wanted that? Because the mom was like the artsy fartsy girl too. So yeah, it just felt, even that felt like whatever. Like, Paul Rudd's a dick. Like, it's probably his worst role.
I agree.
Like, I
didn't like his character at all.
No, nothing redeemed him. And they have him not having her back the entire time, bending over backwards for these people. They hit this unicorn on the way there. They even put it in the car. And then even, again, I feel like the scene was supposed to be taken as funny, but it didn't feel funny. It just felt awkward and just awkward. Mm-hmm. Like, when the car is like, the unicorn's trying to get out of the car, and they're like, oh, and then they're like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, nothing. And like, it's like, it's not funny.
No,
like, everyone, no, it just wasn't funny. And it didn't even put, it was
and it's been done so many times before. Like, the deer in the trunk scene, was that Tommy Boy? Like, it's been done so many times, it's not funny anymore. I think even in like one of the vacation movies, didn't they have something like that? I don't know. There's been a bunch of scenes where like there's an animal in the car and it's trying to get out.
Then the person like just shoots it in the head, and then I just felt
bad for the unicorn.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you're supposed to feel that, so they did get that far into it of like, and then like later when like Paul Rudd's like said a pushover, and they're like, yeah, let's see what the fuck this thing is, and they eventually come to the conclusion after she explains how her acne got cleared up magically. And then Billionaire guy is like in go mode. And he's like, we are going to strip this fucking unicorn and put that shit in me. And we're going to see if it cures me. And it does. It works. Mm-hmm. And they like grind the powder up of the horn. And they are just desecrating this poor unicorn. And Jenna Ortega's like, I'm going to use my art history. And YouTube and ChatGPT.
And come up with a
mood board.
Yeah, basically.
Because the son basically is talking to her, and she's saying, like, she starts warning people early, though, going like, hey, I think this might be a bad idea. Because if they are fucking real, what if the legends are real? Like, now this idea in theory, I'm not against.
No, not at all.
Like, I like the idea. I do.
Because the whole idea, like, the way that he hit a unicorn on the way there, I'm okay with that. That she touched its horn. I thought that was cool. Like, I'm okay with all that. But then it just goes very downhill after that.
Oh, yeah, we glossed over the fact that she touches its horn when they had first hit it, and she's, like, basically in the fucking universe and shit. And they explain in the end where she's like, I saw Mom. And, like, and this is, again, where it goes back, like, to where it just gets so, like, yeah, like you said, sentimental or whatever, and yeah, I'm just like, who is this movie for?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, am I too old to not get it? Or
is it for teenagers?
That's what I'm wondering.
Teenagers don't want to watch that shit either.
I don't know.
Give a shit about the sentimental shit, do they?
That's what I would think. Like, that's where I'm like, because the sentimentality of it.
Because the ending was so, like, eye roll.
It was saccharine.
Oh, my God.
I know, because I'll be honest, I didn't even write a ton of notes.
I didn't either.
I just kind of felt like I was slogging through it a little bit on certain scenes.
What I did write was Téa Leoni still looks so good.
Yeah, no, she was great. Yeah, like, the cat, like I said, it feels like they wasted a lot of the talent. And then the
son, like, didn't shoot her when she was... Like, yeah, turn the oxygen on so he could shoot his flaming arrow, and then he didn't even shoot it.
Because he wanted to still capture it. Oh. Yeah, because it's supposed to show what a piece of shit he is, too.
Okay. I thought he was just too coward to, like, shoot his mom.
No, I think he still wanted to use Jenna Ortega to capture the unicorns.
Gotcha.
Because, yeah, basically, after her insistence, and she keeps telling them this is a bad idea, they aren't listening. The rich people are still feeling obligated at this time that Paul Rudd's still trying to kiss their ass. And they're like, basically like, you hit the unicorn, we'll give you a cut, of everything that's happening right here. So he's in go mode.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to talk her out of it. Like, so she's doing her research. So that's a theme in a lot of modern movies now.
Is info dump with research.
Is the info dump with research. That tarot movie I watched that was on Netflix around Halloween last year, I think. Same thing. There's just like this giant info dump and someone's fucking Googling something. Mm-hmm. Which, yes, I mean, I know that's what everyone would do nowadays. But I would appreciate one that's like a little more old school, like Necronomicon style, where like someone's having to go physically like find a research book. Like it's not, the stuff that you're researching is not going to be on the internet.
Yeah,
you know,
not
like
common knowledge stuff.
Yeah. And instead, you know, I see the route they're taking for her because they're supposed to be in the middle of nowhere. So how else is she researching things?
Right.
But still, the tapestry thing and the
printing out all those pictures.
Yeah, and they print it out. And then finally they believe her when they are getting ready to transport the unicorn, when they're like, this is fucking legit. They've been selling it off to the highest bidder, basically, and draining it, trying to get its horn.
And then the dad eats it?
Yes, served medium rare from the guy who is in a movie that I can't place.
Yes, he's a hitman.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know what movie it is
I
either.
forgot to Google it before. Okay, because that guy's in something else where I'm like, oh, he plays a bad guy, and I think in a TV show as well.
He was in Barry. That's what Dave said. But I didn't really watch that.
Andrew watched that, and I have seen him in.
He was in Gotham.
Okay,
that might be where I know him from then, because I did watch Gotham.
Yeah. So they make, I guess he's like the security butler guy. He seems to do both. And they have him as being like an empathetic character that, you know, he's just the help. And he's having to serve, this guy a steak of baby unicorn.
Yeah. And then people, I don't know. I'm like, I would refuse. At that point, I would be like, no, I draw the line at killing a baby unicorn. Right.
Well, at this point, they also... This is when they're still like kind of calling Jenna Ortega crazy for being like, no, I feel like this is a bad idea. Like, I think they're going to come and ravage us because, you know, according to the missing tapestry.
Right. It's a murderous rage.
There's a murderous rage of unicorns. And this is where it does get a little convoluted as well because they keep mixing in where they're talking about when the scientists, like doctor people, are working on the unicorn stuff. They're talking about how the horn is a organ. They mentioned that because they're like, oh, we can't just remove it, like, or that it was connected. Yeah, they talk all about this part, like, we're like, oh, it's an organ and it's it emits like a radioactivity and stuff. So they go into that, signal, but then they don't really over-explain it still. Mm-hmm. I guess other than the fact that they do at the end, they put their unicorn horns together and create
life.
Is it a wormhole though? Like, what are they? They show it as like this universe stuff.
The creation of life in the universe. Like, I thought that was what it was supposed to be. Like, the Big Bang. Yeah. They created their own Big Bang.
I know, but they don't, like, there's no kind of explanation with that. But they kind of harp on it a little bit about the horn being so important. But it's because because then the people keep stealing the horn. So that's what they're setting that up for. And then, as we mentioned, the color changing, they didn't really, you just visually see it. Again, I'm just thinking that's because they're on a rampage and they turned this one color. And then when they were all together and happy in one again.
And that's fine, but why did nobody mention it in the movie? They didn't say, oh my God, look, they're white now. Like, not a word.
No.
They were just like, oh, those are the same unicorns, sure.
And then they also mentioned how the tapestries, like, she, like, basically scoffs at the maiden part, saying, like, oh, that's just from, like, the patriarchy and, like, other stuff or something like that from that era, or Christianity, because a lot of people thought it was, like, an allegory for Jesus and all of that. They mentioned that. Okay. So it seems like, again, they were trying to, like, also tie in just, like, oh, this was the lore, you know, and, oh, it's going to be true, it's not going to be true. But then they make the maiden thing true, which just means virgin, let's get real. Right. Like, that's the implication. But why would these beings pass out?
Around her?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're like, oh my God, a virgin.
Like, and then they were still black, though, when they passed. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Yeah. And then, like, why would they forgive Paul Rudd for murdering their baby? Because he was the one that, like, beat the shit out of him at first.
I know, because I feel like, I'm like, if you guys would have just left it and not bash its head in.
Yeah.
And, like, put it to the side and, like, left it for a while, it probably was going to heal itself.
And then would have ran off.
And then would have ran off. Everything would have been fine.
Yeah, it was really, this whole movie was all Paul Rudd's fault.
It was. Apparently, even, like I said, when the writer had him in mind. So let's just remember.
Like, let's make it all his fault.
So this is all his fault.
Yeah.
This movie exists because of Paul Rudd and his worst role.
Yeah. And if you would have kept your eyes on the road.
Like your daughter was telling you. I also saw a comment online where they're like, man, they're really going to be having Jenna Ortega play a teen into her 30s.
I mean, good on her for...
I mean, because like I said, her performance was good, but I also felt like that was a wig on her.
Yeah, for sure.
And I didn't like it. It just felt like too big for her head.
It was fine.
It just kind of threw me off a little bit in the beginning. I was like, holy emo hair.
It was definitely
emo hair.
Yeah.
Like, I get, and that's what it could be too. It's just the styling.
Yeah.
I figured, I was like, oh, I bet that's coming back.
Scene hair is coming back.
Yeah, that's really more of the scene. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The big teasing. I was like, woo. Some of her outfits in this, the costume design, there was one outfit she was wearing where I was like, what is that? I like couldn't even tell.
I don't remember what she was wearing.
It was like a weird like jacket hoodie thing, and I was like, I don't even know what that is. Like, so this movie kind of made me feel old a little bit.
Like, I can't relate to these damn teenagers.
I know, but then, and like I said, I also found it just disappointing too.
Yeah, it was very disappointing.
I just felt very lackluster, and
it had so many things that, like I said, that the animal in a car thing's been done before. Anytime somebody puts their ear against a wall, oh, you just know someone's going to come out and stab them.
Yeah, a lot of the gore scenes even were like
just
expected.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to where you didn't even get the surprise of it. You're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you got gored through the head.
Yeah, gore through this guy.
Yeah. You're going to get gore here, gore there because it's a horn. Can't really do a whole lot with it. I was like eating her intestines, but I'm like, I think it should have been more funny, even in the death scenes.
I agree.
Then I would have been more behind it.
I agree. I feel like it could have just used that more comedy element that it supposedly was supposed to have.
Supposedly supposed to have. We might get a lot of hate for these hot takes on this one. I don't know. Because like I said, a lot of people seem to have liked it, which is fine. Dude, yeah, I just didn't appreciate the lack of humor, or they had all the opportunities and then they didn't run with it more. Yeah.
Or just honestly more of the interactions and the then and now with the rich family and Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
All of that just should have had a little more comedic element to it in the more talking scenes, because instead it just made it wasn't enough. The characters were there kind of trying to lean into it, but I feel like the dialogue, wasn't enough to work with to really hone in on the comedy as much.
Well, and it took an hour to get to any of the unicorns.
True.
The whole first hour was setup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't need that much.
Yeah.
Let's get to the monsters.
Especially when I'm she Googled all of this in 5 minutes. Why do we need an hour
of them
we know they
filing down the unicorn's horn? I don't need to watch that for an hour.
They got the point across very quickly and then just sat on it. In the way I was expecting, at least.
And then there really wasn't that many death scenes. When there was, I guess it kind of happened quickly because it was mostly background people, the security people
and they gave you a lot of off camera. I did a scene where they had the shadow, you know, that was good. Like I said, the Griff character or whatever, the butler guy. He
was the only one with any common sense.
Yeah, and then he played it in a way, too, where it could be construed as funny to an extent, but I feel like they could have pushed him to maybe be a little more, when he's kind of ugh, or, just how he was handling even the situation and his employers, I don't know, it's just lackluster.
I just felt like they kind of wasted everybody in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes when you get too many good actors in a movie, and then the movie's never all that good.
That's true. That's how I feel about Grown Ups.
Yeah,
you got all those comedians, and I didn't laugh once.
Yeah. All of those. I'm I think those movies are just an excuse for them to go on vacations together.
You're probably right.
Let's use this as a way to take this vacation and not have to pay for it.
It's absolutely 100% probably what it is. But sorry, guys.
Didn't like it.
Yeah, we didn't like this one.
I'll watch it again.
And I even feel like this episode's going to be boring because we were not impressed with the movie, and it wasn't even bad enough to be like, why did this happen? Like, or where it didn't make sense. It almost made too much sense, and then it just left off the other stuff that it felt like, I guess, was supposed to be fluff at the time, and they're like, forget about that. Like,
right, yeah.
Like,
why bring them most of the stuff
and now
up
we're sad, and now and then the universe, but also it's like where everybody come from. The unicorn and the humans, we all come from the same life source, and you're gonna see Mom, because we forgot to end it that Paul Rudd dies in the end. Mm-hmm. And he's going off into CG universe heaven. And then the unicorns bring him back to life.
With their baby.
Because they are like, they know Jenna Ortega is legit. But conveniently, they don't pass out around her any of those times.
Just at the end.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but why?
What the fuck, guys? Like, yeah, like it was frustrating, like just in that respect. And then in the very end scene, they get arrested because the guy comes back to bring help, essentially, but then everyone's dead except for Paul Rudd and his daughter. So they're like, we have survivors. They do say that, but they're like, you better have a good lawyer because it looks like you murdered all these people. But I'm like you can tell they were like gored, like it was an animal, like I don't know. So then the unicorns are all running beside the cop cars, and they're gonna like throw them into the river.
I'm like, so you are happy with them by knocking them off a cliff?
And it's like,
that's not going to kill them.
I saw the director say to someone, because someone asked him on Reddit about the ending, and someone before him had responded where they were like, I think it was more of they know the unicorns are going to revive them, so the unicorns are going to like set them free and then revive them. And that was how they saw it, and that they would be cool with that because they're like, okay, unicorns. But I'm like, why? But the unicorns don't understand modern society.
They're like, I'm like, fine. I'm a lawyer.
Like, I think they just think that they're being kidnapped maybe or taken, against their will. And so the director says he leaves it open for interpretation. I'm like, there's no open to interpretation.
They're going to be knocked off the cliff.
Yeah, they're going to be knocked off the cliff, and then, I guess maybe they'll be assumed to be dead, and then they can live their lives. In the forest where this land and the reserve that's going to go in this trust that other people are going to have?
Yeah, you can't just, live there.
Yeah, or there's going to be one in the wilderness
with the unicorns.
With the unicorn.
I mean, that would be my perfect ending.
I know, but
I'd be okay with that. I'd make a little cottage in the middle of it. Thick of it.
So yeah, that was it. That was Death of a Unicorn.
Yep, I apologize for picking it, but
no, I was gonna say though, I still gave it 2.5 stars. I feel like we did shit on it this entire time. A one-time watch is fine.
Sufficient.
It's sufficient. So that concludes Jess's Fantastical Voyage.
Fantastic Voyage.
Ride, slip and slide. But yeah, we'll see you in September. We will be more diligent about updating the social medias and letting you know if there are any delays or anything. And then we'll have October figured out probably when I know more of what's happening. But we'll still be getting ideas of what we want to do for spooky season.
It's almost upon us.
I know. It's all happening quickly.
It usually does.
And as always, you can find us at Film Gazers on Instagrams and now TikTok.
Yes.
Hello,
we're there.
Hey, the first one she made had over 1,000 views.
I was pretty excited about it.
Good job.
Thanks. I think it was mostly because it was Star Trek, but it's fine.
Where are Trekkies at? So it's time to hit the dusty trail.
Until next time.
Later, taters.